When you become mother, something strange happens. Suddenly everyone talks about the baby. Is the baby sleeping? Is the baby eating? Is the baby comfortable? But very few people ask, are you sleeping, mama? Because if you are awake all night and going to work in the morning, eventually someone pays the price. And usually it's you, of course. When I was thinking about this video and how to film it, I somehow knew it will be very, very hard because it's about setting up the boundaries with your baby. And I know it sounds terrible. I know how heartless you can get, but sometimes it really goes deep to that point that you have to set up the boundaries with your baby. Not because you don't love your baby, but because you want a safe routine for both of you and your baby and your family, of course. Protecting your sleep doesn't mean loving your baby less. It just means that you're taking care of yourself. Babies usually need a routine, and when you give them the routine, very predictable routine, they can feel comfortable in their life, and also they can allow you to feel comfortable in your life. So think about the routines that are always messy in your home, in your situation. Is it a morning routine? Is it the afternoon sleeping? Is it a routine when you have to go out with your baby for a walk? Is it maybe a routine with bathing in the evening? Is it maybe bedtime routine? Is it an eating routine? How do you eat? What your baby doesn't like about doing something, about what is on the schedule at the moment. I remember my child didn't really want to sleep alone, and there were nights when he would call me 7 times. 7 times. He insisted on mama, of course, not dada. So going to work in the morning after 7 times being interrupted in my sleep feels terrible. Feels like I need a sick leave, not going to work because of those. Yeah, you're just exhausted. I was exhausted. I had like a hard different scenarios in my head. What can happen on the road in my car with me if I'm driving sleepy, very, very sleepy? And I am not one of those people who can sleep 4 or 5 hours during the night and then feel rested another day. No, I am one of those people who need minimum 8 hours of sleep, not uninterrupted sleep, like full block of 8 hours of sleep. And my child didn't give it to me, so I knew I have to set up the boundaries with him. Doesn't matter how difficult it sounds, doesn't matter what Instagram moms and new modern specialists think about it. I had to set up the boundaries with my child, and then I started to practice with him that how it's called 5, 10, 15. It's a schedule when you put a child to sleep, and of course child doesn't want you to go, child wants you to stay there forever. But my point is to put him to sleep and expect he will sleep finally. So what happened, this is, by the way, something that you have to practice for like minimum 2 or 3 days. And you have to know that first day it will be terrible, first night. So I would leave him in his room. Yes, that's another point. He has his room, and he's sleeping in his room, and my husband and I, we are sleeping in a separate room, our room. So yeah, even more terrible mom, I know. But I would put him to sleep in his crib, and I would go. He would be crying, screaming, calling me. I would come back after 5 minutes, and I would pat him on his head. I would give him a kiss, a small hug while he is down in the crib. Yeah, I wouldn't take him out. I wouldn't talk to him anymore. Just like a little bit, pat him on the head, and then go. He would be screaming again, like, "What are you doing? What are you doing to me? Come back!" And then I would come back in 10 minutes. Again, same process, patting him, hugging, kiss, and go. And then he would still be crying, screaming for me, and I would come back in 15 minutes and repeat the same ritual. Yeah. After that, the first night, I had to do plus, I think, 2 times, and then he finally fall asleep. Second day, I didn't have to do this anymore. And third day, he fall asleep after 10 minutes. After this second round, I came to him. So this was such a relief for me that at least I don't have to make him fall asleep anymore, and I can use this precious time for something else. And yes, I felt bad leaving my child while crying, but I had to think of myself also. I don't know what kind of trauma he can have later in his life because I was practicing this. I don't know. But for now, he looks fine. And for now, we have other things that we enjoy to do together. He sleeps now, when he's a toddler, way better than before. He usually doesn't wake up so often anymore. Now he wakes up maybe once during the night, and sometimes he needs me, sometimes he doesn't need me. But those times when he was very young and when I had to go to work, it was really, really difficult. Sometimes my husband would go to him, yes, and he would try, and sometimes he would also be successful in putting him back to sleep. But after practicing this, it's so easier. It's so easier. I don't know what are your bed routines and how you do it, but for me this was a very big problem, and yeah, it helped. Other thing that I would like to share here is after I had a burnout, I started going for the therapist with one psychotherapist who is a woman, mom, and a grandma. So she was like a little bit older lady, yeah. And I want to share this story just because since she is like from that previous age, years of parenting, and what was her view of today's parenting. So we ended up concluding that what she actually told me, that today's parents have so much tolerance for their children that they didn't have when they were young. So what she told me, I was complaining how my child, my son, doesn't let me cook. I have to be holding him in one hand and cook with another hand, which is like sometimes dangerous also, but annoying, mostly annoying. That I cannot use my both hands because he wants to be in my arms. And if not that, then he will be down beside me on the floor hugging my legs. Again, I also need my legs because, like, yeah, kitchen, I have to be moving from one side of the kitchen to another side of the kitchen, and I need my 2 legs also freely, yeah, to use. And she looked at me and she asked me one very interesting question. She asked me, why don't you put him in a cage? Why don't you put him in the cage? And I was looking at her. I didn't say anything, but I thought, because he's not an animal? I mean, maybe that's why, yeah? And she said, When I was young, with her, I don't remember, 2 or 3 children, how many she had, I don't know. She said their children had a cage for that kind of purposes, yeah. So you put your child in the cage. In the cage, child is safe, cannot hurt himself, yeah, has toys inside. That cage is like from the material that is soft and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like a net, yeah, and then has like a silicone corners or something like that. So child is inside and he is playing. And why am I not doing this? And I was looking and thinking like, yeah, exactly why I'm not doing it. I think I had a mom's guilt. Yeah, I'm not with him half of the day because I'm working, and then I come home and still I have to do cleaning, cooking, if my husband is not already home, that he can do all those things. So yeah, like I think I had a mom's guilt, and that's why I couldn't put him in the cage. By the end of the week, we bought a cage. I can tell you that. We bought a cage, a very, very nice cage. That cage that looked like a basketball playground, yeah. And also had like a lot of small balls, so he was able to be throwing in the basket. So on the end, I realized that those parents who were parents years ago, who are now like old grandparents, maybe we should learn something from them. Maybe we should like not to be so tolerant like I was, like I still am sometimes, because those children also have to know their place. I know, again, it sounds so bad, but yeah, don't be around me if I have a big knife and I'm cutting the fresh meat. Don't be around me if I'm holding a boiling pasta with water in my hands. Like, move, go in your cage, for example. Like, I will put you in the cage and stay there while I'm doing something. At the moment, we don't have the cage anymore, but that cage was really good solution for us for some time. For maybe 2 months we had a cage and it worked really well. So yes, sometimes we have to see how older people were dealing with the things, with the problems with their children, and maybe see if we can do something similar in our situation. And yes, if you are struggling with routines, sleep, or separation, I want you to remember something. Wanting a rest does not make you less devoted. Protecting your energy doesn't mean creating distance. You are not only raising a child, you are also trying to remain a human being, right? So please give me your opinion on this and tell me, what was the hardest routine for you to introduce to your family life with your small baby?